The natural heir to the late and much missed Darley's stalwart and brilliant racehorse and stallion, Shmrdl, and the man who handled Blue Point so brilliantly through a 4-season racing career is Charlie Appleby, who's with me now. What a special horse Blue Point is as a potential stallion and has been as a racehorse for you, Charlie.
He's as an early 2-year-old there, Nick. He was one of the horses that always excited us in the morning. You know, questions have been posed to me many times now. I mean, who has been the most exciting horse you've trained? And it'll always be to this day Blue Point. You know, he turned it on in the mornings and he delivered in the afternoons. And we can say it's quite rare to see in a racehorse, to be honest. You know, ever since he broke his maiden, from there onwards he competed at group level. Obviously the highlight being the famous double there of the King Stand and Diamond Jubilee last year. And I think that just shows the mentality of that horse and the constitution to be able to achieve that and to be able to achieve, like I say, 4 seasons competing at group level. I want to take you back to York in his 2-year-old career where he won there and he was so impressive. And I remember you saying at the time, I think this horse is a sprinter. Yeah, because you know, obviously we went to the gym crack there confident we were going to be a big player that day, and he went and delivered. As always, going into the autumn of their 2-year-old careers, you're contemplating whether you can stretch them and look towards that Guineas programme. And thankfully, the new sprinting programme in respects to the Commonwealth, it allows us trainers to be able to sort of try and identify the 2-year-olds a bit more towards the end of the season in what we're going to be looking at as 3-year-olds. And again, full credit to the horse there. We know we ran him in the middle park there. He just got touched off, stepped him up again a couple of weeks later in the Dewhurst and ran a very creditable race, finishing 3rd as well. So it just, again, shows his mentality and his constitution. But what we found was during the winter and the evidence of what we saw in the Dewhurst, sprinting was always going to be his game. And from there onwards, he barely let us down. And typical of a sprinter, he got better as he got older and stronger. Talk to me about his physique. We're very lucky at Godolphin to be able to hold on to some of these horses, and you know, we don't see it so often nowadays, but we were confident going into Dubai season there as a 4-year-old, and then he turning at 5, we had a finished article, mentally as much as physically. He was the ultimate professional. We saw him develop from 4 to 5. He is the model of his father. I mean, I was very lucky enough to be able to see Shmrdl and himself standing opposite one another there at Kildangan last year, and you really could just see he was the apple of his father's eye, and in his markings and in, you know, his, like I say, what he's achieved and mentally where he was. So, you know, as an article going into our European season, I was confident going into Ascot. I was very confident going into the King Stand, as much as Batash is a very respected horse, and we've seen what he's done this year now, going on to win the King Stand after finishing 2nd to Blue Point twice. But going into that King Stand last year, I couldn't see him getting beat.
Head towards the line, Blue Point in front. Batash nearest to us, trying to get to him, but it's the same as last year. Blue Point from Batash.
Thankfully, he went and delivered, and all roads sort of led to the Diamond Jubilee, where again he didn't let us down.
As far as his constitution is concerned, what was it that enabled him to be able to do that, to wheel back after beating a horse like Batash and come and win a tougher race stamina-wise, the Diamond Jubilee?
Again, it's like any sportsman's mental strength, isn't it? And the way they can deal with the competition that they've been in. And there's one thing with his maturity, he learned to deal with the pre and post race. As a 2-year-old and as a 3-year-old, you could see he was highly strung. He just wanted to get on and get the job done, but he matured into it, dealt with the preliminaries very well, and most importantly, he knew what to do once the race was over. And you know, he did all the right stuff. He relaxed and did all the stuff you want to see. And
as far as what this horse meant to you and your team and everyone associated with the yard, just tell me a bit about his personality, what he was like as a character.
He's very much a family member to the team and to my own family. Been with us there from his 2-year-old days and was part of the furniture, as they say, in the yard, but more so, like I say, he was a family member. I felt what showed one of his best parts of his character was, you know, after the Royal Ascot and the success of the King Stand and Diamond Jubilee, we knew he was going to be retiring to stud. I was fortunate enough to be able to bring the children down to see him, and we decided we'd do our social media bit and take our photo with him and as a team. And anyway, the girls pulled him out there and bearing in mind only a week earlier he'd, you know, let's say, competed twice at the highest level at Royal Ascot. They brought him out on his bridle and chiffney and brought him out into the middle of the yard there and had their photos taken and videos, and he just treated them as a family friend, and I felt that's a very humble racehorse.
I remember that very well. Have you got it with you?
I have actually, as we say. No,
the video of.
yeah.
Let's have a look, see if we can find it here. And that's your 3 daughters.
That's correct. Yeah. So we've got Emily and Erin's trying to hold on to him as he's trying to pick some grass. And I did say just try and be a bit careful. He's got a bit of value to him.
So they were how old then?
So the twins were 7 and Edith was 5. So looking after hopefully a stallion for the future.
That's a photo to remember and keep, isn't it?
For sure, exactly. And like I say, I think that just shows that the attributes of him as a racehorse. He knew when to turn on his A game, and he also has the characteristics there to, as I say, be a nice person.